When relationship breaks, that does not mean that you have to make your ex an enemy. Come to think of it, is it not a blessing in disguise that that relationship breaks up? If you have that kind of mentality that everything that happens, even it does not mean how bad or how terrible it is, with you personally, with anybody, between you and someone, if you have this mentality of it being, for good, you have to look for a reason why that thing is meant to happen. Because that thing that happens is meant to do something for you, maybe make you a better person. That uncle that disappointed you happens for good. That girl that break up with you happens for good. That guy that cheated on you happens for good. Because when you come to realize it later, if you had been stuck with that person, you would have met the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh, the best thing that has ever happened to you that you are with right now or that you are going to meet. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another What If Discuss episode. On What If Discuss, I invite my audience to explore philosophical inquiries, delve into psychological exploration, and reflect on societal and lifestyle questions, encouraging deep thoughts and meaningful conversation. So today we'll be exploring a thought-provoking question which says, why do we like to create enemies where they are none? This question says a lot about our behavior as humans. Oftentimes, we see so many fallouts happening around us, maybe between colleagues, in marriages, in the society, in the community, or in the world, even countries do fall out. And automatically, most times when this thing happens, those two parties become enemies, which is not supposed to be. It's normal for people not to agree on things. It's normal for this fallout to happen. But that does not mean we have to make an enemy of the opposite party. Sometimes most of these things happen for good. I don't know. Am I the only one that sees it this way? I think it's normal for people to fall out. It's normal for someone not to see things the way you see it. It's normal for you and someone not to agree on so many things. It is normal for you and someone to have differences like issues. But when this fallout happens, you don't have to make that person an enemy. You don't have to make an enemy of that person. That does not mean that you and the person cannot talk again. When a relationship breaks, that does not mean that you have to make your ex an enemy. Come to think of it, is it not a blessing in disguise that that relationship breaks up? Because if that relationship does not break up, how will you be able to meet the person that is right for you and not just be stuck with someone that is not meant for you or you are not meant for? I think we have to start seeing the positive side of things for us to be able to understand why some things happen the way they happen. And when this thing happen between you and someone, the misunderstanding, the fallout, the breakup, or anything, you tend to see it from a different angle. Or maybe, yeah, it's just meant to be, it's just meant to happen, or better days are ahead, or there is a reason why this thing happens, and it's always for good. I think if you have that kind of mentality that everything that happens, even it does not mean how bad or how terrible it is. With you personally, with anybody, between you and someone, if you have this mentality of it being, for good, you have to look for a reason why that thing is meant to happen. Because that thing that happens is meant to do something for you, maybe make you a better person. That uncle that disappointed you happens for good. That girl that break up with you happens for good. That guy that cheated on you happens for good. Because when you come to realize it later, if you had been stuck with that person, you would have met the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh, the best thing that has ever happened to you that you are with right now or that you are going to meet. So why make an enemy of someone that actually do you a favor? They just help you. Or maybe I'm actually the one saying it that way. They actually help you not being stuck with them, not being stuck in where you don't actually belong. And also, you see that uncle that disappointed you helped you to be able to, crack your brain and figure out something, to be able to show yourself that, yeah, I got this, I can do this. Even without, anybody's support, you find your way out. That's when you go back to your corner, you re-strategize, you think of what to do, then you come up with whatever. That auntie that disappointed, maybe for anything, that anybody, the people that disappoint us in this life, they help us, they helped us. That's the basic truth. When you find a reason to see the positive side of whatever it is that happens to you in this life, between you and anyone, you will never make an enemy of anyone. It's okay for you not to flow with someone. I have people like that too that I just don't like their vibe. But that does not make them my enemy. No, I don't have enemies. It's just that I don't like their energy and I don't want it close. If we see or meet, we can do whatever it is I want to do together. But this kind of closeness or bond, like I just don't want it with them. I'm not their enemy. I don't know if they see me as enemy, but me, I don't see them as my enemy. Even if they too they show that maybe they don't just vibe with me. It's normal. Everybody cannot like you in this life. Everybody cannot understand. Everybody cannot go with your flow of things, which is normal. You just have to respect each other's differences and just be like, okay, you see that person that you went to buy something that the person was being somehow like maybe giving attitude or whatever. Maybe the person have issues. Maybe on the normal day that person is not like that. But that first impression can create a kind of picture of that person. Maybe like, why did she look me like that? Why did it behave like that to me? Then you just form a kind of hatred for that person from that very first instance. Whereas the person does not even know. The person was not just having a good day, the person was just in a bad mood. It happens to all of us. There are people that will meet me on a particular day and they'll be like, no, I don't like that. I hate that girl. And there are people that will meet me on a particular day that will be like, oh, that girl is actually one of the best person I've met in a while. So imagine if that person have created an enemy where there is none. When me at that instant, I was not even seeing you. I don't even me. I'm just very much concerned and lost in my thought and whatever it is that is happening to me. I don't know why most time people don't really tend to see things from the positive side. We are too negative about things. Like I don't know the way our world operates now. Negativity is all over the place. You just see we tend to see everything in a negative way. If you can shift your mind and start seeing a lot of things that happen in your life, like even in your surroundings and everything, with a positive outlook, you always find the positivity in it. And honestly, it works for me that way. I don't know if it works for any other person. So please let's know if you always think things in a positive way, like you're so positive minded that no matter what happens, maybe between you and someone, it's always for good. Let's start saying things in positive ways. That way we'll not be making enemies out of people, creating unnecessary enemies where they are none. Because most times these things are just meant to happen. They are needed. It is meant to just happen for you to be able to take the next step that you need to take. And whether we like it or not, you see, everybody, you see, that your neighbor, that your uncle, that your auntie, that your whatever, we are all related in a way. If the word of God that we follow says, I don't know about the Muslims, but I'm a Christian, and the Bible said that the first creation of human was Adam and Eve, and that is where we all came from. You see that your uncle, that your auntie, that your whatever colleague, people in different countries are fighting. We are all related in a way. We are all from the same people. So maybe if we start seeing one another like that in a kind of relative way, we know how to handle situations with people and not just when things happen, we start creating enemies with people. We should preach love. We should relate to people with love. Even when someone do things that does not go well with you, we should be preaching love. The world is sick already. The world is sick, and the least that we can do is to preach love among ourselves. You know, be accommodating to one another. We should stop creating enemies where they are none. If we know how to relate with ourselves with love, compassion, and empathy, I see people do these things a lot, and I just, I wonder that why do we just do that? Why do we like, making enemies? Why do you like creating enemies? It doesn't mean that people don't do things to me too. Mostly what I just do is I just try to like set some boundaries. Most especially when I see that whatever it is that they do is kind of disrespectful. And me, I don't really like disrespect. I'll just set boundaries. That's it. It doesn't mean that me and Tracy cannot have things to do again. It doesn't mean that we cannot relate again. It doesn't mean that we cannot do things together again. We can have things to do together, but there will be boundaries. The same thing goes for my ex. I don't make enemy out of my ex. That relationship was not meant to work in the first place. So why should I even be mad? I should even be thankful to them that, oh, thank you, that you didn't let me be talk with you because you're not meant for me. And the same thing goes for everybody that disappointed me in this life. And it works for my good. Every disappointment works for my good because it was meant to happen. Every disappointment led me to where I am today because it helps me to figure out ways to do things. It helps me to be able to be dependent on my own. It helps me to not be able to, rely on people to get things done on my own. So that is the good in it. If the person had not disappointed me in the first place, there are some things I would have missed out in life that I was, just supposed to do on my own, get it figured out on my own. So honestly, everything works for good. I don't know if there are people that see things from the angle that I see things too. Like, how does it work for you when you are always positive minded? You are always positive about everything, and whatever it is that anyone do for you, you know that is for your good. Thanks for watching. Let's strive to be peacemakers in our lives, and remember that often the real enemy lies within. That will be all for today's discuss episode. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find this topic interesting. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also turn on the notification bell to get more content updates like this when I post them. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.